just waiting.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Good
All right.
evening.
What's
Oh,
going
good
on, my people?
afternoon.
What's going on, boss man?
What's
Hey, nothing. How y'all
happening?
doing?
Hey, you see what I'm up to again?
Yeah, hey, boy, you,
Look
hey,
here, I'm going home now. Let me. I'm going home now.
I don't know where you
oh,
made a stop at.
Well, I had in mind I wanted to do one thing, and I changed my mind at the last minute, and so I said, "Shit, let me just go on home now because I got to be at work Monday."
No, I thought you stopped in
Got
Macon or
programming.
something.
Yeah. So it is what it is. How y'all doing today, gentlemen?
hey,
All
we
right,
good.
all right. What's going on with you?
Yeah, hey, we,
Yeah. Ready for another Saturday?
yeah,
Another
Another
they,
Saturday.
Saturday.
What we got on the list?
Oh man, we got all these hot contested races that we got coming up, and that's gonna be what we'll be talking about today. We got all these races: governor, lieutenant governor, attorney general, secretary of state, labor commission, agriculture commissioner, uh, secretary of education, uh, U.S. Congress for the first district over here, and then the U.S. Senate where Senator Warnock at. Then you got all the state house races. You got a bunch of stuff uh, coming down the pipe. You got all these local races with the judges, school board, everything here.
yeah, yeah.
And you got one public service commission.
Oh, one public service commission up this year.
Oh yeah, Patty Duran.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
all right.
So I mean, one of the things I always think about, we talk about voter education, right? And so, one of the things that I think creates some, I guess, barriers for some people is understanding, why is it important to not just vote, but maybe vote for a particular um, office? Why does it matter to me? You know what I'm saying? And I think when people can relate more or understand why it matters, it becomes real for them. And so, I mean, I think that's something helpful to talk through, so people understand. Okay, so if I vote for this, these are the things that's impacting for my life.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
I don't know. We had some deep conversation last night on America After Dark, and I'm gonna piggyback on a lot of stuff. Let me explain something to people. One thing about me, I'm gonna say what's on my mind and say what's on my heart. I'm gonna say what's on my heart before I say what's on my mind. And at the end of the day, it's a lot of people just running just to be known. They really don't care about, you know, anything. They don't care about the people. They just want to be seen. Some people just get on there and run their mouth, run their mouth, run their mouth. And half of the time, to be honest, they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They only think, oh, I'm gonna jump in this race, or I'm gonna run for this, I'm gonna run for that. If you're just gonna run just to run, then you need to sit down and stay home. You know, because 2022 is gonna be, it's gonna be the turning point for 2024. Believe that. You may thinking that they're not getting nothing now, but if a lot of those races don't go the way it should go, and y'all want it to go, hey, it's gonna be crazy 2024. Believe that.
yeah. Well, it's going to be a battle for our very existence in this state.
Yeah.
We have to be able to get out the vote in order to change things. We can't change things unless we have the people in the positions running to make those changes.
He said need a hip boost.
Right.
Yeah, they were kind of deep last night, Ivan. They were kind of deep last night. Let's say hello to Ivan Cohen and Malvise Robeson. Yeah, they were. The conversation was kind of deep last night. They went off. They stayed a lot on politics because they had some political people on there last night, I guess.
Yeah. But you know what, too, Jules and RG, Georgia dictate everything that's going on. Georgia dictate Alabama. Georgia dictate Mississippi. Georgia dictate Texas. Georgia, wherever Georgia lean towards, people look at Georgia before they determine what they want to do. And that's the truth, especially Alabama. Georgia is one of the most powerful state. Is everybody watch what we do, and then they'll piggyback on that.
And that's why local politics is so important, because it starts on this level. It starts here, and we make those changes on this level, and the little municipalities around each county, and then it branches out. So it's important that we get those seats changed locally and statewide, because see, Georgia is not blue. Everybody keep telling me about Georgia being blue. Georgia ain't near blue. We just happen to have been lucky enough to get the vote out for those two senators, Warnock and Ossoff. Mm-hmm. That doesn't turn the state blue, because the state is still controlled by Republicans. Right. Every branch of government is controlled by Republicans except those two positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And one thing, Stacey Abrams, she played a big part, a really big part on Bynum and the black folk, Bynum getting him where he at, right? Okay. So I hope Stacey don't think that, okay, she's running for governor, right?
Supposedly, I guess.
Supposedly, okay. So at the end of the day, hey, she need to get like what I always say last night. I said, put up or shut up. She need to start moving, because if she think just because she's Stacey Adams and people gonna go out, oh, we gonna vote for her, because it may not happen that way. You need to get on there and hit the pain and start say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do, and hit the sidewalk and knock on some doors and get some vote. Because if you think this is gonna be an easy walk, it ain't. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I done got some rest.
But you're right. We you know, she needs to start doing what she needs to do, because it's almost like she got in so announcing a couple of weeks ago that she really don't want to do it, that she's just doing it, you know, so it could be a down ticket, you know.
Yeah.
Hopefully those people will get in who running on her coattails, um, and they'll get in. That I don't understand it. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure it out now.
Yeah. If she's not all in, then get all out. If you listening, if you're not all in, get all out. Stop playing with people votes. Stop playing with people livelihood. If you're not all in, get out. Move aside and let somebody else take your place or whatever. If you in, you in. Out, you out. Period.
Yeah.
And
It's just like Antonio Brown. He was out and he gone now. So do the same thing.
Well, and honestly, I think if I'm correct, it could end up being an all-female team at all levels, at all state level offices. But B, Nicole, Stacy, and all the other positions.
Who? We got somebody running for a female running for attorney general.
I'm not sure. I haven't seen anybody declare for that unless it passed by me or they didn't announce it.
Okay. Well, my problem is sometimes when we talk about the governor's race, the governor's race is a serious race, and you got to go all in, and you got to, you can't go off of what happened last time and think that people are still just energized waiting on you like you're our savior. If you're gonna get in and do the work.
Yeah.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came to Atlanta this week, and Stacey did not show, even though they were advocating for one of her most important issues, which is voters' rights. Joe ain't done nothing. I'm agreeing with you, but you have to put the pressure on people to not just show us that they're there, that they're doing something. And by you not showing, it either showed an arrogance of that you're too arrogant to be there, or you're running away from them to please somebody else. I don't know what it is. It's just I'm trying to wrap my head around it, trying to figure out why she didn't show. And it was an opportunity for her to be on that stage with them and to probably ask them to let's come back and do the whole state, but we'll see. The Democrats are just too soft for me. They have an opportunity to do things, and then they get soft and think that it's okay, and we're not going to hit you, even though you box me in the mouth. I'm just going to turn around and say, "Don't do that again." Democrats are just too soft for me.
Yeah.
Well, and they turn on. I'm just like, why is it so hard to support Biden's agenda? It may not be the best thing in the world, but it's helping the American people. And I don't understand why people are bucking his agenda for the sake of a few dollars when you let Trump just go out here and just go, wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Only thing that say with her not showing up is that you see how Democrat they cracking. You know what I'm saying? And every time they crack, that give another Republican that's probably running for office lead up. And so when people see an organization is cracking, really cracking, do you think you're gonna jump in that crack with them, or you gonna go the other way? People may go the other way, and with Warnoff, I'm telling you right now, and people think I'm joking. You better watch out for Herschel Walker now.
Yeah.
Like we said, hey, he can sign some balls and get it in and start running, and he ain't got to talk because he can't talk anyway. Just give him some football.
Listen, that's
you know what? Money.
Jay said the same thing. If they win that national championship, it's on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm of a different opinion when it comes to Herschel.
Uh huh.
Herschel
What you
was
think
40
about it?
years ago. Huh?
What do you think about it?
Herschel was 40 years ago. He's not
Yeah.
relevant. He's not
Yeah.
relevant today. Um,
Mm.
and if I don't believe that he can hold a debate stage with Warnock. He's not
Look.
political enough to hold a debate stage with Warnock.
Mm.
Um,
Well,
so people will judge him on that also, that he isn't ready for that
Yeah.
role. That's a U.S. Senate role. We ain't
Yeah.
just
but you
giving
know
it
what?
to somebody to
He's
to
getting
do.
groomed.
You know what? At the end of the day, people don't care about that. They just
Yeah.
folks have gotten to be so. What's the word I want to use? Unthoughtful, and
Mm-hmm.
they will vote him in just for the sake of you got a Republican, not thinking about can this man legislate? Does he even make common sense? Can he pronounce his own? You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. So that's the part I worry about. You know,
Well,
you putting
with Herschel, uh, you gonna have the Republicans gonna vote for him just because he's a Republican.
Right.
That
Right.
that that's just what they're gonna do. They're gonna vote for Herschel because Herschel is a Republican.
Right.
Um, he's always been someone who we should have traded to another community or sent to another country. He's always been that. We should have
Yeah.
sent Herschel to Afghanistan uh,
yeah,
20 years ago. You
Yeah.
know,
you will put him on
so
out.
I don't think that he's relevant enough. He's not. His message isn't going to resonate with Democrats. He
No,
won't have any crossover blacks to get him in office.
no.
And if Warnock does what he's supposed to do, then it shouldn't be no real big fight for him
Yeah.
with
Say
that.
that
But
again. Say
you
that
got
again,
Tamara
Jules.
Steele saying she coming to take that seat anyway.
Who?
Tamara Johnson Shealy.
Oh yeah, I remember her.
Mm-hmm.
She was good. She campaigned really well. She
Yeah,
campaigned really well.
yeah. Well,
Uh,
we're gonna see whether we can get her on the show. She has her own show, but we're gonna see whether we can get her on ours also. She from Savannah.
Oh really? Okay, I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think she out
Um,
of Cloverdale, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right, but you know, like I said, 2022, we shouldn't take nobody for granted. Nobody for granted. So if Warnock, he did the same thing he did to get in there, he need to keep doing it. He need to get on that bus. He need to come on down those highways. He need to keep on going. He need to campaign like he's not in office, trying to get in office, not trying to get back to the office.
you know,
You're
he
absolutely
has
correct.
a hell of a machine. I mean, he got the funding
Yeah.
to run circles around her.
Yeah, yeah, and no, hey, we all as brothers, we went to school, all that, but I'm just saying, hey, don't, keep working hard, like you said, keep working like you're not in office because Herschel's being groomed. Herschel's being groomed. Herschel got all the Republican, Donald Trump, all of them money behind him. At the end of the day, yeah, it's been 40 years, but we in Georgia Jewish. People don't forget. I'm telling you. Shoot, man, please. I
Yeah.
guarantee you have Vince Dooley campaigning for him.
I saw
So what?
Vince the other
Down
night.
the street.
Vince can hardly walk.
I know it, but he
This is
gonna
new
walk with
day,
Herschel.
but this is a new day and time where people are listening differently. And if you have the right candidate, you need two or three things. You need the right candidate with the right message or with plenty of funds. Um, you need two of those things. Two of those things. Herschel is not the right candidate. Herschel doesn't have the right message, but Herschel can get the money. So he only has one of those things. So he can be
Right.
easily defeated. If
Yeah.
you give me the
Yeah.
candidate with the two of those three things, nobody can beat them.
Yeah.
If they're willing to put the work in, nobody can be the candidate with the right message and a candidate that comes over positively with the public. You can't beat a candidate like that. But that candidate has to be willing to put the work in. You got to be able to walk and knock on doors. You got to be
Yeah.
able to shake some hands or fist bumps in this era. You got to be able to look a person in the eye and tell them what you're gonna do.
Yeah.
It
That's
Yeah.
can
true.
be done.
Yeah. You know how these football coaches go to these people, these player houses and introduce themselves, and they trying to recruit this player to come to their college, and they hit on those doors and they take a plane and go see them. That's what these candidates, and that's what they need to start doing. I know it's COVID and everything, but
Yeah.
you get our eyes for as black people, you got to look us in our eyes. You know, we don't want to see you constantly seeing you on TV and all that. Knock on the door and say, hey, you know, I'm Mr. Brown and I'm running for blah, blah. And I just want to, you know,
Right.
want your vote. And they're going to give you your feedback right there in their front room. And they're going to be honest. And they're going to say, okay, what you going to do for me? You in my house. What you going to do for me? And they put them on the spot.
Yeah.
So if you don't have that right answer, you ain't getting that vote.
Well, if you get the right answer, you should have never started. You know what I'm saying? They go back to that what Julian said earlier. I mean, you can't jump into that ring if you don't have at least some kind of concept of what you want to do. It's too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A prime example. Keisha Carter got in the race. She had a great message. She came over very well with the people, and she put in the work. Those
Mhm.
two things, and she did it with very little funds. Alicia Miller Blakely came over very well with the people. She had an awesome message. She put the work in. Those two things over funds. You can beat anybody, even Buddy Carter, if you put the work in. If you go knock on somebody's door, 9 times out of 10, and you got a message and you telling them something that resonates with them, like here in Port Wentworth, when I went to knocking on people's doors, the mayor couldn't beat me. I was going to
Yeah.
break, well, for better term, lack of a better word. I was going to smash the mayor.
Yeah.
If I wasn't disqualified, smashing, just like all the other seats we won, because I resonated with what these people were feeling every day. You going down this highway, it's a speed trap. You got 5, 6 officers stopping people all day long. This is not where we want to live. As this is where we live at. That is not how we want to live. So when you tell the people what you feeling and the message resonates with them, it's something that they're feeling also. They're going to gravitate towards you. Change can happen, but you got to make people want to be engaged and involved. And that's knocking on doors, talking to people, going to these events. COVID got us a little handicapped now, but
Mhm.
you
Right.
have to be engaging.
Yeah, and that happens too by being in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You just can't show up
Yeah.
and follow folk around and think they just gonna vote for you. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta be in the community. You gotta show up places and just not poke your head in when you just trying to get that vote or shake a hand or see what you see. That ain't how that works.
Yeah.
Correct. And what you got to do, Robert, when you go to these events, you can't just show up. You got to work the room. You got to
Yeah.
talk to everybody. If you can't walk and talk to everybody, they're going to think that you're unapproachable.
Yeah.
Walk and talk to everybody when you're running for office.
Yep.
Nobody is off limits.
That's
All
right.
they can tell you is no.
Yeah.
All they can tell you is no. Nobody's off limits. Talk to everybody. If you go to an event, just don't go there to show your face. Go there to talk to people. Have your cards so you can give them out. Tell people, I worked every room I went into. I worked every event I went to. That's what it's about. You got to be
Yeah.
able to talk to these people.
Yeah. You're
Mel
right.
V said Charlie Bailey changed from running for attorney general to lieutenant governor. Eh? You knew that, Robert?
What was that?
Charlie Bailey changed from running for attorney general to lieutenant governor.
I wonder why he did that shift.
I don't know. Somebody must have told him it was wide open.
Well, yeah, that'd be
I
I
don't
mean, you
know.
might as well line up in a position that where you can win, rather than try to struggle and then I'm in second place, third place.
Hey, you know what's so funny? What you just said, Robert, about community. I can go, and Jews too. And I did it a couple weeks ago when I was in Savannah. I went in West Savannah, right? And I haven't stayed in West Savannah in almost, man, 40 some years. I went in West Savannah and just walked and just the people, man, they came up to me, even though they know me, but they came up as, hey, how you doing? What you been? And they was happy. We was joking. We had a good time. And Jews would do the same thing. And then it's like, who's the representative over there? Because if they showing somebody who love ain't been there in 40 years and they ain't showing you love and you see them every day, it's a problem. It's a problem. You got these guys, the same guy I see on Farrell Street and sitting on the corner, they're still sitting on that corner. But you know what? They're sitting on that corner, but they vote count too.
Oh yeah.
They know you. They know you.
Everybody's vote counts.
Yeah.
I implore all the people that are running for office, if you know about an event, especially when you're running for local office, go to the event. Talk to people. If you're running and you already announced, go to the event, talk to the people, pass out your card. Even if they don't live in your district, they might know somebody that
That's
lives in
it.
your district.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to people. People gonna say, I don't know who that is.
Right.
Why would they
Right.
vote for you and they don't know you? And they
Yeah.
have never heard you even speak. And then you popping up saying now you want to run. Now,
Yeah.
that is good to get involved. Jay is doing a great job with getting people out to wanting to be involved and running so they can get that experience. But I also want these people to understand that you need to come and work some campaigns. Work some campaigns, volunteer on people's campaigns so you can see just how it is. See what you have to go through. Um, it's a lot, believe me. Every day I was in here studying to be mayor. Every day I was in here reading the charter. Seeing what kind of changes need to be made. And I'm doing it right now today. I'm preparing for later. So you have to be prepared. I go to every event that I can make. Some events I don't go to the bougie events where Robert go to, but I go to all these events.
You know, the other part of that too. Y'all know this as well as I do. You got to tell your narrative, because if you don't tell your narrative, people gonna tell your narrative what they think they know. You done been working for the YMCA that made stuff up, so you got to get out there and tell your narrative so the people know your values, know what you've done. Because you can't let that get away from you. Because at the end of the day, that part and what you can do for the people are going to be the things that people lean into you to vote for.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? And y'all might not know, but I'll say this here. It's I've been in coaching and ball and that for 25 years. So me adjusting to talking about politics and adjusting to this is because of you, Jules. It's because of RJ. It's because of Jay Jones and Keisha and all of them. Believe it or not, y'all don't know. I'm paying attention and listening to y'all. And I'm studying. Because at the end of the day, if you got a good voice and people listening to you and you straight from your heart and you're going to do the right thing, I'm listening. Trust me. I'm listening and I'm learning. And y'all think I'm joking when I say, I'm going to come and be the mayor of Savannah. Oh, yes, I am. I'm just learning. I'm a little baby. I'm in Pampa now. Hey, when I get some draws, I'm going to be ready. Trust me on that. Don't let this handsome face fool you. Yeah. So y'all don't teach me wrong now. Don't teach me wrong.
Oh no.
You're so silly. I'm glad you said that, because by the time you get the boxes, no, I'm just kidding. But now people need to realize that if you have an idea, if you're creative, man, get on out there and put your name in the hat. You know what I'm saying? It can be, what's the word I'm looking for? It can be overwhelming. But when you get out there, you get your groove going, you know what you're talking about. Like you said, you got your pitch together. Man, please, you'll be surprised what you can do when you show up in those campaign sessions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And just like Jules told me when we were starting the show, I told him, I said, man, I'm scared. I'm scared. I mean, I'm not scared because of the people, because I've always been the people out with that. But I'm just saying, man, I don't know. He said, no, you keep doing it. You'll get used to it. Don't be, hey, if you ain't scared, then your heart ain't in it. And he right. Now, I mean, I'm good. He on the right track. Stay on the right track. And that's what's wrong with the Democrat. They cracking. And what happened? When a crack starts small and get big, it just fall in.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah. Loyalty is not a thing anymore. It's just not. At the end of the day, and I'll use the CCDC for example. At the end of the day, if Jay is doing something for the CCDC, and I may not agree 100%, we're gonna talk about that behind the scenes. I'm not gonna go on Front Street and go against the chair of the organization. Mm-hmm. That's something totally different nowadays. Back in the day when Biden was in the Senate, they talked about that crazy stuff behind doors. Now they coming out, I ain't gonna support the man.
Yeah.
So what does that do? That erodes loyalty. And so I just, the other day, one of the senators came out. I don't think he should have said that they're almost like segregationists. Why? That's what he thought. It's real. If it is what it is, if it's a duck, it's a duck. Mm-hmm. But they will come out and say, "Well, you don't see Republicans do that."
Well, that's the difference, Robert. The thing is, we have the Democrats are just too damn soft. You know, they are. They're just too soft. Instead of, okay, we know that Kristen Sinema and that Joe Manchin are two Democratic senators in Republican districts. They're from heavily Republican districts. So they're catering to those people in that district. So it's all about them. Mm-hmm. It's not about the will of the people. It's about them.
Right.
And so you got 6 years. So if you went there to really make a difference, and Joe Manchin done been there way longer than that, ever since he was governor of West Virginia. He done been there ever since. And Kristen Sinema done, this is her first term, but as a senator. So if you went there to really make a change and make a difference in people's lives, then you would go there to do the right thing. But you aren't going there to do the right thing because you're still catering to those people who control you instead of saying this is what's best for the country. Yeah. And neither one of them are doing it. So the Democrats' fault is this. Get ready to put money into races and do things differently. See, the Democrats are still doing things the old-fashioned way. Those ways don't work no more. You got to reinvent yourself. The Republicans found out that there's a new way to get elected. And now the Democrats are catching on now. But we have to be able to get into those other races to replace some of these Republican senators. Then you ain't got to worry about that 50-50 tie or that 51-49. You need a majority. Replace a bunch of them. They aren't doing the work.
But what I don't understand is Joe Biden knows how to get, the people that don't want to right. Joe knows how to get it, straighten it up. I don't know why he's not doing that. I mean, he says a few forceful words here and there, but at the end of the day, you know what? Get out there in the caucus meetings and just chop the wood down. You know what I'm saying? It's time out for the hold of folk. What you say, Bernard? Be yourself. Don't hold your tongue, and just tell them you're gonna line up. Yeah, it's gonna look real crazy.
Yeah, and right. I mean, you had that conversation too, and that's one thing about me, man. I got a broad, thick skin. I've been groomed for this because at the end of the day, I'm gonna say what I want to say, and I'm speaking from the heart. Who don't like it, I really don't care. But All thing you know, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna tell the truth. You gonna tell the truth. Jules gonna tell the truth. Sometimes people don't like to hear the truth, and they always afraid to say things and like, you know, oh, I think he too radical. I think he is now. You got to be strictly on and let the people know, hey, I'm all for you. And you know what? You got the Democrat Party, you got the Republican Party. You know what we need to do? And I'm just saying, why don't we the People Party? And what I mean by that is you have a big old meeting and everybody's that's on the People Party. We decide whether we want to go Democrat or whether we want to go Republican. Because what's going to happen is if you got the People Party, Biden going to come to the People Party. Whoever the president is or the People Party, you got to come through. Whoever the president, and the same thing with Republican. You got to come to us as the People Party to get the vote, to say, hey, okay, we're going to jump on that bandwagon right there. I guarantee there's no People Party when it comes to the Black community. But if we can form a People Party and they have to come through us to get anything, you never know. I'm just throwing this up. This is an idea I'm just throwing up.
I agree with that. I mean, it's almost like it goes back to the loyalty thing. You're gonna if you're not gonna be a part of the machine, or if you're not gonna be a part of the organization, then why should the organization be loyal to you? It's like going back to CCDC. If you're not going to be a member of the CCDC, then why would you want the CCDC to support you when you run for office?
Yeah, and don't go getting in it when it's time for you to run for office.
Yeah.
Get in it, be a part of it. If you're going to run as a Democrat, be a part of it. If you want that support, and you can't get mad if they support another Democrat over you if you're not a part of that organization.
Right.
Yeah. You know what?
And what it becomes is a funnel, and it goes back to what you said. You're in training ground. You're in a space where you're learning and grooming, and so yeah.
But you know what? I have a question for both of y'all, and this would piss me off. And I try not to get too angry, too mad. Why it always? Only time you want to come to the Black community, only time you want to talk to us, only time you want to sit down and have dinner with us, only time you want to send us some money or whatever, only time you want to deal with us is when it's time to 2022 or 2024, when it's time for y'all want something for us. Y'all want something for us. But when y'all don't need us, you know, y'all don't want to talk to us. Don't talk to me then and don't talk to me now. That's the People Party.
Well, what it comes down to is, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Stewardship. You know, if you're going to vote for me and I'm going to be honest to you about, I'm going to be in touch, you know, do the town hall, stay in touch with the people. You know, that's what it's about. If you're going to be a real leader, then you want to stay connected with the community and the people that your constituents. And I think that's when we fail as people. Mm-hmm. We become so self-driven that we forget that person voted to put you in office. So that person, you know, made sure they introduce you to this influential individual. But when you get in that seat, you can't forget about the roots that put you that made you that tree per se. So I think stewardship becomes your goal at that place.
Yeah, well, people get in these positions and they forget who put them there. Mm-hmm. It's all about them, and it's not about us anymore. Mm-hmm. And we got to elect candidates who understand that it's about the people. It's not about you. It's about the people. If you're not about the people, we don't care about you coming out here giving away no blankets. We don't care about you giving away no darn McDonald's free lunches that McDonald's done gave you. We don't care about you putting no darn dumpster in our neighborhood to clean up no damn trash. We want you to do some real work. All that stuff that you doing there, putting some paint over some mold, it don't work. Mold still exists. People still breathing the mold. So don't tell me about all the stuff that you're doing in your neighborhood. That ain't nothing when you voting against everything that can benefit every part of this community. You know, so let me stop. I get on
No,
my,
no, you're
but
right.
you know, uh, uh,
No, yeah, you're exactly right. It always baffles me how you'll have that one picture where they're feeding the homeless. I like that, but make it sustainable. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I
yeah,
just don't do a photo op. You know what I'm saying? Don't just show up when it's time to show up and look pretty.
yeah,
Be in that community. You know, we keep like Keisha's program, cleaning up. She's
yeah.
out there, well, at least once a month, not just clean up and we did a photo op. And
Well,
so, yeah,
the
yeah,
master politician has been telling them to go where they've been going, and I've been noticing what they've been doing. And the press is with them. The press goes to all these little events and putting them out front, but they ain't gonna be able to beat the people because the people ain't paying no attention to that. We'll see in a couple of months. Malvie said, what's y'all take on Georgia State Senator Jen Jordan running for Attorney General?" That's probably why uh, Charlie Bailey uh, uh,
yeah.
uh, um, is running for lieutenant
Okay,
governor now. You know,
Charlie Located.
Republicans made that switch. We'll support you for lieutenant governor, Charlie, if you let Jen run for governor. Where Jennifer Gordon from? I mean Jennifer Jordan. She's a lawyer, um, state senator. I know she's a lawyer, but she's from some part of Georgia. I don't forget where it's at, but she's running for attorney general now. So I'm sure some deal was made for
Yeah,
Charlie to get out of that because Charlie ran for attorney general last time, right, against Carr.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
They
sure. I can remember.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
all in this. They all in this together. It's like, hey, won't you do this here? Hey, I'm gonna drop down and then you come up and then I'm gonna run over here and then we can get their vote on here and then we all gonna be riding together in the same truck. You know, that's what they do, and that's what I'm saying. It's like we probably need to revamp the whole situation when it comes to the Democrat Party, um, because you know
well,
they,
the
they
thing
need
is, Bernard, the thing is, this is the thing, and the problem is widespread. It really is widespread.
Mhm.
We operate in silos. I know somebody's saying that they don't like that word, but this is what we operate in. A
Right.
silo is right here. You by yourself. You're not in anything with anybody else. These are different silos that you and we operate independent of everybody else. Nobody is saying, let's get together. We were all elected. Let's see what we can do. Nobody's doing that because
Mhm.
it's always somebody wanting to be the head honcho, somebody wanting to get more recognition than the other one. They don't have any type of collaboration or cooperation, and damn sure don't have no communication.
Mhm.
So those three C's you need. If you don't have those three C's, how you can govern effectively? You know, that's something that they don't do here in
Yeah.
Chatham County or around the nation, as far as the Democrats are. Uh, but the Republicans, they understand that and they do this.
Mhm. Yeah.
They operate in groups. They don't operate in silos. They
Yeah.
Well,
understand the difference.
that's why it's good to have a good chair that can digest all of that. And that's the one thing I've seen done well in Chatham is we don't move people around and run for things that they're not ready for. But if you have the strength and the wherewithal and the poise to do this, we don't necessarily need to put people in the same
You don't hit that
good
dead
job
zone,
of,
son.
okay, we got this race going. Huh? What's that?
I said, I think you hit the dead zone.
No, I'm over in Dublin. But no, basically just making
That's
sure
the dead
everybody's
zone.
aligned. And if there's enough room, we kind of fill gaps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a spot right there between Dublin and after you get out of Macon,
Yeah.
it's a spot right there where all phones go dead.
Go there.
I don't
Yeah.
know why. And they need to get broadband everywhere. Uh, especially these little country towns. And there was some money out there to get
But
all that
Dave
done.
tried to do it. We tried to
Hey,
do it.
Robert said he did a search, and Jennifer Jordan, originally from South Georgia, she moved to Atlanta for her law practice. Okay, she from South Georgia, so she either from around this part or either Brunswick, somewhere around that area. So she from over here, but I knew she was a lawyer, um, and state senator.
hey. Let me ask y'all a question.
In Glenn County,
Huh?
not the one in Glenn County, right?
I don't
You know what
know.
I'm talking about? Her name is Jen too. Jen, I can't remember her last name.
Well,
You know,
that's
she
probably
ran in
her.
the last race
She's
too.
in Atlanta now. She's in Atlanta now, so it's probably her, Jennifer Jordan,
I
Jen
didn't know she.
Jordan. Yeah.
You know what? They need to clean up. They need to clean up all that nonsense in Atlanta too, not just Savannah. They need to clean up all that nonsense in Atlanta too, buddy. Trust me, there is chaos in there. They don't know their head from their toes. You know, this guy, you know, he may, you know, try to do something, but at the end of the day, it's a hot mess. Trust me. They're just searching and looking.
Andre.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So my question is this here. You remember Big Man said last night, and I didn't really want to get all into it. He said he got angry, and he said, I ain't voting for nobody. I ain't voting, period, for nobody. Democrat, Republican, nobody. So let's take, if you take 500,000 young black people thinking about how he feel, then what you think may happen? Just not only just young people, just how they feel in general.
That is what changes minds. If
Yeah.
they don't get out and vote, that is what changes minds. Those young people who don't vote, they don't understand that they don't count if they don't vote. They got to understand that you don't count if you don't vote. You got to vote in order to count.
Right.
Um, um, and um, and then you don't, like my wife said, if you don't vote, you don't have a reason to complain.
Right, right,
You know,
right.
you don't have a reason to complain. Don't go complaining about somebody and something that ain't working right if you're not voting. Vote to make a change. Your vote does count. Your vote does make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
Just that
Yeah.
simple.
I mean, you know what? That's basically I agree with what you're saying, and you know, if you don't vote, I ain't gonna say you don't count, but
Yeah.
you know,
You
it's
know, and I can tell you where it makes a difference. Everybody got to, pay attention. In Pooler, Georgia,
Mm-hmm.
never ever in the history of Pooler have they had a black person on the council until the work was put in.
mm-hmm.
The person, Tom Hutchinson, got more votes than the mayor did
What?
running for council. So you can put the work in to make a difference. It's just you got to put the work in and you got to have the right message. Tom was appealing. He had the right message and he put the work in.
Mm-hmm.
Those things matter.
Mm-hmm.
Those things matter. You can make a difference and you can change the outcome of any race.
Mm-hmm.
If you got two of those three factors, you got two of those three things, you can do what you need to do to win a race. Buddy Carter can easily be defeated. You just got to have a person that's ready to get out the car and walk and knock on doors, not just show up at
Right.
rally.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You got to have a person that's going to sit in those little country diners and tell the people their vision. You might
Right.
change a few people's minds, and that's all it takes. If you lost by 30,000 votes, and you can change 16,000 of those people's minds, you win the race.
See, what people don't realize is you're voting on people who are going to allocate resources. You know what I'm saying? And whether your community get those resources, or whether certain resources are wasted over frivolous foolishness. That's what you're voting for. It's not just about, a particular law, things like that. But you got to think about, okay, when that splash money comes out, who's going to advocate for that splash money? You know what I'm saying? So you got to think beyond just what's in front of
you. Mm-hmm. Man, it's like we've been fighting. Man, we've been fighting ever since we came in this world, and we still fighting. We're gonna continue to fight. But if you got somebody who's been in office for 30 or 40 years, right? And too
you.
old.
Talking about Joe Biden like that.
I know.
But talking about Joe Biden. Joe Biden.
Yeah, and too old and too stubborn to move out of the way. Cause you got some young people, ready, and they talking about, oh, you got to groom them. Hey, you can't groom nobody heart when they talking from the heart. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, some of the people in the office right now, they just need to just pack up and go home, because they view and their vision is the same vision that I seen in 1962, and I'm seeing it now in 2022, and they ain't gonna change.
Take this little dinosaur right here in the corner of the camera, right here. Take this dinosaur.
Now, when Larry come for you now, get
I done told him he need to get his vocabulary up so he can say more than really.
Right.
That's my boy. That's my boy. And a lot of people wonder why I still deal with this dude, but this is my boy.
Yeah.
Even though he crazy, he say he can't win again, so he gonna do what he want to do. So you done gave up already. You could have won again. All you had to do is go to the people, tell the people what you want to do, talk to the people, knock on some doors, dribble your ball up to their door if you want to.
I know it.
He'll hit back with something in a minute.
Hey,
Lord.
Let's see.
Well, if your candidate loses, what you will hope for, Ivan, is that they will be tied into.
You're breaking up real bad, Robert. Well, since he's breaking up, I'm gonna tell you, if the consolation prize is that your candidate made the effort, that your candidate put forth the fight for the people. The consolation prize is that your candidate gets to do it again. And if your candidate puts the work in, your candidate can win the race. If it's a heavily Republican district and it's a 90 to 10% difference, then you can't win that race. But if it's even, which most districts are, the majority of them, you can change the minds of some people with your message and whether you're appealing enough to them. You have to stand on your convictions and be strong in what you say. I didn't care what nobody said with me when I ran for mayor. I didn't care what nobody said about me. I'd already convinced the people. I didn't care what the press was saying. It didn't matter what the press was saying. I'd already convinced the people. So you have to make that difference in those people's lives who vote. The press don't get a vote. They don't get one vote at all unless one of them live in your district. They don't get a vote. So they can say what they want to say. I'd already touched the people. So you have to be able to get your candidate to touch the people. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they say you got the experience or not. It's what the people who had experience. The experience is not a prerequisite for you to do it. Commitment, determination, passion, and a heart is what it takes to make a difference in the run for office. You got to have those things. Other than that, you just go in there to sell out. It's all about you. And that's the kind of candidate that we don't want anymore.
Yeah. Because if you got the right message and you run and you lose, you keep going. Because eventually when they keep seeing your face, and you hit the message, eventually you're going to hit touchdown. Eventually you're going to get it. It's a prime example. It took Georgia 40 years to get another national championship. They didn't give up. They kept playing. Tampa Bay, they ain't never won nothing. But they kept going, kept going, kept going. When you keep going and don't give up, eventually you're gonna win, no matter what.
Quitting is not an option.
Quitting is not an
You
option.
have to stay in the game.
Yeah, got to stay in the game. Yeah. So really stay in the game. Really, I talked to him when I was down there. Stay in the game. At the end of the day, don't let people put so much pressure on you and you get tired. Like, nah, you got to hit back. If somebody
really gave up.
I had a conversation today with my brother about that very thing, and you got to be reminded of that stuff. They said, all the pressure Jesus took, and people talk about Jesus. At the end of the day, well, being in office is not a cakewalk, and so it's gonna be hell. I never forget going through a statewide race, wondering what the hell did I just do. And at the end of the day, the other thing is, not only do you have to be able to have the thick skin and all that we talked about, but you got to be willing to stand alone. And if you can't stand alone on values or stand alone on policy, then don't get into the game. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I like about Stacey Abrams. Nobody helped her build bill, right? Nobody was really rah-rah for her when she was talking about voting rights, but everybody got on the bandwagon when she established all that.
Yeah.
But one thing about it, I can appreciate a person willing to stand alone and say, you know what, this is something I value. I'm going to advocate for it and can defend that idea.
Yeah. And let me tell you this, Sam, because me and RG was talking about it. I'm going to bring this name up. Growing up, Benny Mitchell, he didn't run for no office. He didn't run for nothing in Savannah, but he had the people behind him. And Recyclers, every time Recyclers was running for mayor, he talked to Benny Mitchell. And that's why Recyclers kept being mayor over and over and over again. And just like I say, the people party. He had a people party, and everything that Benny Mitchell said or whatever, the black people listened and they didn't support him because they know he was right and he was fair. He wasn't. He didn't run for no position in Savannah. He was a great pastor, and he did what he was supposed to do. And rest in peace. But we need people like that that's doing it from the heart. We need all these preachers. What you say? You got 759 churches in Savannah.
Man, that's too much.
That's way too much. And these pastors always you don't do this and don't do that. Y'all don't do it because half of y'all ain't right.
You know what, Bernard? Well, and I guess we're gonna make this a 90-minute segment here.
Okay.
One thing that me and Charlie Brown was talking earlier this morning. One thing that this government has done to us as black people has divided us. They have done that with mastery. They have divided us to the point where we got 900 churches in this area when they only have 25. They got 900 because they know if we divide it, we can't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
They have divided us to the point where you go out and look at them where they're living, and they got a big house with 12 people living in it.
Yeah.
They still got their kids living in the house with them. And they're grown with their husband and wife living in a different section of the house. But they got us so brainwashed that we don't want to even be around each other.
Right.
We don't want to be nowhere around each other. We were kicking the kids out when they're 17 and 18, which they should have some responsibility and pay bills. But imagine your kids, or everybody you like the Jews do, the Iranians do. They are the Hispanics do. There'd be 10, 12, 15, 20 of them living in a house together, saving their money so they can pool that money together to get something else, to open up a business and to buy things. But they got us as black people so brainwashed that we don't want to be around each other. Hell no, you can't come stay with me. Yeah. Hell no, you can't be nowhere around me. I need my independence. I need to be alone.
We love to listen to what other people got to say. So, you got to go kick Johnny May out because Johnny May about to turn 18. What they going to do when they're 18?
Yeah. Yeah.
Worry about what's going on in your house.
Right.
Johnny May ain't ready to go. Johnny May might need to do exactly what you just said and build an income or stay home and go to college or whatever.
You're right.
But we worry about what the Joneses are doing.
And you know what? Mr. Ivan was right. My Reverend Mitchell, and he brought me on because I was a little young, snatcher. And the first Martin Luther King Day parade, he got it go in Savannah, Georgia. And I was a part of that, and I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was sitting on the float, riding down Broad Street with some jeans on and white shoes. And he made it happen. And I remember that day, and I'm telling you, if it wasn't for him, it would have never got it the way it is. So we got to get back. I have never seen so many black people in Pula. I have never seen so many black people in Port Woodruff. When I was growing up, only person I seen in Port Woodruff and Pula was a little black dog. Now every day, everybody in the neighborhood.
That's a great example. Benny wasn't scared to stand by himself. It was many times the black folk in Savannah told, man, you might want to go sit down, or I don't think we should be doing that. No, Benny went head forward. That's the only reason we got MLK Street. And people don't realize MLK Street was supposed to be 37. Yeah, 37.
Yeah.
But had Benny not carried that vision forward, where would we be?
Yeah. Man, and they dogged him, man. They dragged this brother to it. And like I told you, RJ, I was at his bedside and him at his last word. He always called me Bernie. And his last word, and he said, keep being yourself. Whatever you learn from me, you keep doing it. And Miss Mitchell was there, and I hugged him and I kissed him, and then I went on back, and then 2 days later got the call that he passed away. And I think that was the most wonderful moment that I had a chance to talk to him and pick his mind before he left. And that's what we don't have these days, Jules and RG. We don't have the passion in the heart for people that, hey, love our people. We can do great together. We can do great together. But if we keep on doing what we're doing now and tearing each other up, hey.
Dr. King already told us. I mean, so we either going to work together or we're going to perish. What do you think?
And this young man here in that corner there.
Get on the line. Where you at?
Hey, I'm going to send him to Ike corner again. Ike going to get his same way. Trust me. Oh, Lord, that boy.
It's all right.
But it's sad, man. We got to stop fighting each other, man. It's like, hey, it's like Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. They kept beating on each other and till they beat each other to death. Yeah. Woo.
At the end of the day, man, it's like this happening. What are you gaining? You know what I'm saying? For example, you were a coach, Bernard. You could go out there and coach and get all the glam and glory, take all the pictures, and not worry about the players. But if you don't build those players up, what good is the team?
Yeah.
How good of a coach are you?
Yeah.
So people, I think we got to look at it that way. Like, I can easily, I'm talking about Bernard, don't do this at the third. But what good is that?
Yeah.
How's that going to help our community?
Yeah.
It goes back to Julian. You was saying that different cultures do that. They understand the value of, okay, we got this resource. Instead of squandering it, let's see how we can all strategically work together with our strengths to maximize.
Yeah. 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 And you're right, man. We've been beating each other down for so long. And you're right, man. It's people don't realize politics is it can be ugly and dirty. Coaching can be ugly and dirty because you got people that's constantly hitting you in your back. Like I told you this, RG. Don't look back for the people who hitting you in your back. You drive and look forward because you can care less about what the hell going on in the back. I don't care what's going back there at the end of the day. Long as you know you're doing right. But if you get in front of my face, hey, somebody gonna be picking you up.
You just, you know what? What you gotta do, man. You can't be afraid to stand alone.
Right.
And I mean, I'll give you a great example of that. You go back to Reverend Mitchell. I'll never forget. There was a scandal out one time, and you know what Reverend Mitchell did?
Yeah.
Kept preaching.
Yeah. The worst
So
scam.
the thing is,
Yeah. The worst
but
scam
the
that
thing
you
is, like,
put on a man.
what good does it do to tear that man's family down like that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he kept up preaching. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. But he stood in that truth of knowing, you know what? I run this church. I run the community. And while you over there doing
Yeah.
no, can't do it. But
Yeah.
I grew up with a son too, so I was able to see a lot of that up close and personal. So
Yeah. And this man, that was the worst scandal that I ever heard in my whole life. And we ain't got to talk about that, but I was like, and he was in his office. He was in his office crying, like, come on now, come on. I mean, how can you put something out there like that on a person who knows it's wrong?
well, the thing is, at the end of the day, that was between their family.
You're right.
And
We got Dr.
you
Curry
don't know
done
how much
joined
trauma
us.
what are you doing, Teray? You know
I'm
what
on
I'm
these streets. I'm on these streets. I'm
He
on
on
these
them
streets.
streets.
And like God said, Bernard Brown
doing,
lying. Billy didn't tell him that. Billy didn't tell him that he's lying. And then he was talking about fighting. What about you fighting Ronald Wilson, Bernard Brown? We ain't never gonna let you forget about that. Ain't gonna never let you forget about that. But again, we on these streets right now. We on these streets. That's what we
What
do.
street you on?
I'm on Montgomery Street right now. I'm at
Oh, okay.
so
Montgomery.
yeah, I'm on Montgomery. Right across from the Chinese place right there. Brady's Butcher Shop right over that side right there. You know, right here.
Hey, I got a beef with that Chinese shop right over there that you pointed. I do got a beef up, boy. I ain't gonna put that business out, but I'm
But
just saying.
but I'm trying. I need to ask a question because I know y'all got some stuff lined up already. But I gotta ask. So are y'all going to let me do it right here. So are y'all going to the Kessler sponsored MLK celebration? The Platte Riverside MLK celebration. They got a 4-day festival going on.
I don't. I'm not gonna say no for the wrong reasons. I'm gonna say no to that because you know what? It's like bootleg, and we got to stop selling out stuff like that.
So Kessler having an event for MLK, but but we can't have one.
4 days. 4 days. They started yesterday. They got stuff going on today. They got stuff going on Sunday and got stuff going on Monday. But that's just like what they did with regards to St. Patrick's Day. So again, that is so, and that's why I'm gonna say my brother Robert Bryant being nice about it. But I'm gonna say, hell no, I ain't going to it. Because some people ask me, are you going to the unveiling for the Dr. King's bus and all that? I'm like, no. And guess what, black people? Guess what, Caucasian people? Guess what, Asian people, Latino people, Native American people? Guess what, biracial people? Guess what? Some people understand what that's about. It's all symbolic. And some people said to me, that's why I was on the phone with an officer who said, Jamal, they do nothing for the black community here. So why are we going to be there?
Yeah.
I got to do, as I learned from Bernard Brown, touchdown when he said, I was like, touchdown.
Yeah.
I still learned from Bernard Brown. Touchdown when he said that.
Hey, they
We
never
start
did
giving
nothing for
our
the black
scholarships
community.
to our students. When you start investing in our communities and stop just taking the money in to buy more artifacts, then we can support you. But
Well, you have the sellouts there. You have the sellouts there. You're gonna have the sellouts there supporting them. You're gonna have the sellouts there supporting them. Watch who's there.
Yeah.
That's right.
Be there.
And I told the brother, I said, listen here, I said, I'm not gonna go to it because I don't want to even give them any symbolic support. I don't want people to think that I'm gonna help legitimize that at all. I said, of course we're gonna probably see it at some point, but I'm not gonna go down there at this moment because guess what? That legitimizes just what Julia said. This group of black people who have no problem giving away our ventures, our legacy. And so, and as the brother picked up, he said, guess what? You know what that does right there? All that does too is increase the money to still stay down there in that area. That's all that's about. So we don't even see no benefit from it.
Look, why are you tearing down Yamacraft?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, it's so shameful. That's why I say I got, with the Watch Dawgs. I just had to ask a question to Watch Dawgs. I know Bernard Brown said he coming to Savannah. So I think he was coming for the Kessler MLK Festival. That's why I thought he was coming for,
Hey,
the Platte Riverside MLK Festival.
Nah.
Hey, trust me.
If you see Bernard down there, he just drunk.
That's it. Yeah, you.
If you see me down there, I'm reporting.
But you know what? So what's dangerous about that? If this goes on and goes on and goes on, and we don't do the parade right, guess who's gonna own MLK?
Yeah. They
don't think. We just don't think some.
Yeah. Oh, they think, but they don't care. Like Jamal said last night, they know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah. They know. And then they want to shut you up when you call it on them. You know what I'm saying? And that's, I always tell people this here. Just because somebody got a pass, that don't mean that pass gonna dictate their future at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Prime example is Jewish. Hey, he could have came out and said, you know what? Hey, I'm do what I want to do. I ain't got time to try to help these people, blah, blah, blah. But no, because one thing about us black people, man, and this what kind of it help us and hurt us. We are so forgiving and passionate that we'll forgive somebody for slapping it in our face and then move on instead of stand up to that slap. Stand up until you stand up to these people. They're gonna keep doing that. Kessler gonna keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Who taking over y'all city? What's Scab gonna keep doing that? They taking over Atlanta. I'm going down 75 side, the big old build. Everything you see in Atlanta, Scab, old everything.
But you know what, Bernard? What bothers me too with all of that is we got our own folk who will not give two councilwomen voice on council, but will turn around and allow SCAD to take over historically black neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Hypocritical as hell. You know, I don't get that. They're out here advocating for our community. They're out here, making sure that we are aware of what's going on. But that's bad.
Yeah.
Because you're going to give SCAD the key to the whole 5th district. Help me understand that.
Yeah.
Jamal, you want to speak on this here, Bosman?
Oh, and that's what I'm going to say. Rebecca Rose, she called it out. And that is exactly what the deal is. This is a game plan with regard to them, even when it comes down to, because it's going to be about marketing also, where now people going to market, say, you can go to River Street and see the MLK bus on River Street. And when they go there, then what they're going to go to the establishments that are down there also. And then you also can go see the Chromatic Dragon. You can go and see all the other stuff right down there. So it remains right there. And so I had a conversation, again, prior to coming on the Watch Dawg, what I was sharing. I said, you can put that bus in what we know as Green Square. It could be in Green Square. It could be in some other location. Then everybody said, well, the other person said, well, it could be some other place on location, like it could be at Beaver's Barbershop, or it could be by Shabazz Seafood. It could be someplace along MLK Jr. Boulevard. It could be someplace that is going to generate people that come to our places and then spend money with us. Whereas now the money stays with regards to Kessler and the Platte Riverside. So here go black folks who should be at the table advocating on our behalf. Then do that. Caucasians who are here, who should advocate on behalf of fairness and equality and justice, they ain't doing it either. So again, everybody has no concern about the masses of the people in this city right here. And that is a problem. And so they're going to use that to market now to keep people down on River Street. Because I had told people years about this, that they're looking at expanding the western part for tourism. But guess what? They not getting it. They're getting that anchor in their closet on the west side right now, and they go back to the east side and do the same thing. But then guess what? As I share, folks, as I had people on a tour today, I want to share them when we were down on River Street. I said, guess what? There are some local black folks in this city who have not been on River Street and in City Market in the past 20 and 30 years. Everybody that does the tour with me, when we go down there, they hear me every day. I'm gonna do a tour at 3:30. Guess what? Those same people hear me the same thing, and everybody always like stunned, like, wow. I say commercial regentrification, not just residential, also commercial, and you're gonna see it today. This manifestation of this madness right here today. The Kessler MLK celebration.
It's robbery right in your face.
Yeah, and I haven't said SCAD is worse than crabgrass, but it ain't just SCAD. It's a number of people. It's a combination of
That's
them.
right.
They're doing it, and these people are advocating for them who we
Yes,
elect. Uh,
yes,
it's SCAD, it's Kessler, it's Marinelli,
yes,
it's
Yeah.
yes,
it's
yes,
a bunch of those developers. I can't call
yes.
all their
That's
names.
right. That's
Um,
right.
because I can't remember their names, so their names will be called.
And do the
But
thing.
and our elected officials are are doing everything for them.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
Rebecca is right, here it is, African American. They found the loophole to funnel all the money from expanding African American tourism to keep it away from the African American community. There's no
Slavery is different
way,
now.
you know, it's crazy how they do that and they don't give a damn. Instead of going there and advocating and saying, what can I do for my community? Damn, they act like racism never happened. And
Mhm.
you can turn on any TV anywhere and it's all about racism. You can turn on sports and it's about racism. But when we talk about it here in Savannah, Georgia, we racist.
Yeah.
We,
Yeah.
see,
they throw it back on us. We playing the race card. We
Yeah.
racist. No, we're not
Yeah.
racist. We want you to understand that we've been stepped on forever. And
Yeah.
now it's time for us to get some equity here and play on an even playing field. And we elected people that have betrayed us.
Yeah.
But the
And we
thing
got to
is,
get rid of each one of those people. And
the
until
thing,
we do, we're going to keep
right,
saying what we're saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be quiet for
the
me.
and,
My wife
thing
is
is,
having
though,
a heart attack.
and we got to change this. The unwritten rule that you can't, and we know this, you can't, like, man can't go in there and do what Eddie does. There's certain things you can't do as an unspoken rule that the other culture can do. That's got to change. First of all, ethics around the whole situation needs to be ethics. Not, oh, this person get a kickback because they happen to be of this race and gender. That
Mhm.
kind of stuff has got to change across the board.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know
and
what? Since I talked to a couple people that own business in Savannah, and we always get in an argument. And they say the reason. I said, well, why y'all don't say nothing? Why y'all got you got your company, why you don't say nothing? They say because we don't say nothing because they funding the money in our company and they giving me the big contract when it come to building stuff in Savannah. That's why we don't say nothing. I hung up the damn phone. I hung up the phone. I said, okay, boom, bye. And I ain't calling back since. And that's what black folks doing. That's what they're doing. They voting on big old contracts and the people, they get buddy and they handing them that and say, okay, you can have this contract. Long as you support me, as long as you, when it's time for re-election, blah, 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 boom. And it's happening. And I'm talking about from, anything from cleaning stuff from the bridges or whatever, you giving
That's
somebody,
right.
period.
It's about diversity.
It's a loop. They're doing it, and reason why the black folks down there that have them, they taking that money and they don't care. They only thing they think about, hey, we get to take care of my family. I don't care about what y'all do. What y'all need to do. It's about those big contracts, and they get them to them, and that's and that.
And
Same.
well, I will share this with you and see. And Bernard, you're talking about a certain segment of black business people, of some business owners who do that, but you got some other business owners who don't do that. Who their perspective is that I must look out for the community, and they get contracts and they discuss this. They talk about it. They say we let them know, and they discuss how they have told elected officials that this is what you need to be doing. If you don't like it, you can go on. And they talk about how those folks still come back to them because they know they're good at what they do. See, the people who do stuff like that are the ones who are not sure about themselves. That's
Yeah,
why even elected officials, they're not secure in themselves, so they don't even realize that they got power. See, when you know your humanity, you walk like a man and walk like a woman. You don't sweat it, and people gonna come to you because even though they might try to brush you off because they want to see if you're weak. But then when you show that you are a man or woman, they will then understand we got to come to. We might not like all the stuff he says, but guess what? Because we got a brother who's a business owner right here. He has probably donated more money to Savannah State than any other the people who y'all think are the big black people in the city of Savannah. There's one brother, his own company, and even on yesterday, I'm with him on yesterday, and he said, I got $5,000, and if y'all got some students, let me know, and I will then tell them what they need to do to get this money right here to help them to stay in school this semester right here. And so some people say, yo, you got to put that out. He said, no, I don't be trying to put it out there. They were like, you had contributed more money than some of the other jokers. See who we got these accolades to. And I'm saying, we got folks like that right here. And they understand. And now I'm going to let you know. And they had said to some of the elected officials that y'all had talked about, the ones who looking out for us, they said, we already gave them some money. We're going to give them the money right now because we want them to be ready for it. And we told the other one, if you're going to do this, let us know right now. Because they said, if you don't tell us right now. I'm saying those are the type of people that we got right here. But then guess what? We tend to shower their attention on those milquetoast, handkerchief head, scratching where they don't itch Negroes who are down with that, who are afraid. And so now I'm going to throw something out to you that what the brother said to me when we had the conversation. He said, Jamal, look at that Inmark Arena. Is that Inmark Arena going to allow any of our high school basketball teams that have access to that gym, to that arena for their basketball games and let the community there also have access? I said, woo-wee!
Yeah.
That is something that we need to be talking about and not throwing out into the community to say, did your elected officials who were down with this right here, did they truly look out for us?
Yeah.
And the thing is, Jamal, not only that, when you look at the Inmark Arena, I guarantee you, well, I don't think that they should sell the Civic Center, the old Civic Center.
Right.
They shouldn't sell it. But you know what? It's a plan already in place for somebody to buy it. So it's going to be sold to SCAD or somebody because the people behind the scenes are working all this. If they ain't already done sold it, they're going to sell it.
Yeah.
And it's, why would you sell a whole city block? That thing goes 2 or 3 blocks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why would you sell all that property? I heard they were trying to sell it one time for $7 million.
Yeah.
When it's worth probably $700 million.
Yeah. And I'll put something else out there too. Now, you know, y'all know I joke about Jenkins and stuff like that and about the high schools. But to go and show you something now, and I got to use Jenkins as an example. This would occur. So I don't know if it happened with other places. What happened when they built Jenkins, or what has been going on in Jenkins, they made sure to give some of the contracts to business owners who were alums of Jenkins High School. That is something that some people don't realize that, yes, so here goes some brothers and sisters who had companies, they got a part of that money in the building of Jenkins and the maintenance of what's going on at Jenkins. So I said, guess what? That's what should be happening with regards to all of us, because that when they went and said, we realized that we say this contract right here, well, we going to build this school over there. We need to make sure that some of the companies that are who are graduates of that high school, that they not get some of the money. But guess what? That's what some people went and did. Why can't we do that on the city level with regard to making sure some of our people are doing it on the county level? Why can't we do stuff like that, be ingenious and say, hey, we ain't got no shame about doing that? That is crazy.
That's systemic right there. You know, if I ain't got it, Jamal, you ain't gonna get it either. That's the systemic thing that we got to work on.
The city will sell. These people in government don't understand their power. They get there and they get a pat on the back. They meet with these people who convince them that they need to do something for them and they're not going to do anything against them for our people. And they don't care about us because we're poor black people and those are rich white people. So those people can fund their campaigns. You can turn that city civic center, tear it down if you want to. Okay, I would never tear it down until it's just till it's in such bad shape that it don't need to be there no more. But you could tear it down and put a parking facility on there for the whole downtown, for that from downtown all the way to Victor Drive. That's a parking, and have buses taking people to where they want to go at throughout from once they park there. People downtown could park there at night. You can make more money keeping that than selling it. But you know what? It's already being sold because we have sellouts in City Hall.
Yeah. And this
And you
was
saw what happened with the Broughton Street Municipal Building. They sold that. Then when they tried the Thomas Gamble Building, but then that deal fell apart without that boutique hotel. And so here go. But then what did the city gonna do? They then went and rented facilities from the Savannah Morning News. So I'm like, how do you sell property, then go and rent?
Stupidest thing in the world, because they're feeding their partners. It should be a GBI investigation. If that was black people, it'd be an investigation and people would be in jail.
Yeah.
I just want to say, you can't do that.
Yeah. And this is what they should do with the Civic Center, because I didn't know they was going to. What y'all telling me is news to me, but this is what they should do with the Civic Center. Just like they have the high school playoff in Macon Coliseum, where they need to stop that because it's run down. Turn that into AAU basketball, high school basketball, volleyball, and when this summer, and it's the same size in Alabama, I put 20 basketball court in that one arena, and you have court 1, court 2, court 3, court 4. That's what they needed to with the Civic Center, is turn into an athletic venue.
Yeah.
Basketball and volleyball, and bring the high school playoff, when instead of them going to Macon, come
they want us to be on the equal footing and pay the same thing when we've been treated wrong all for the last 400 years.
Yeah.
And if you really want to do something, like you said, turn that into that, where the kids can have all those things with AAU basketball. You can have a theater of the arts for black people in the Civic Center and Johnny Mercer Theater. You can do a whole lot with this building that can benefit our community, but they're not. And this is what Ivan said. What is missing is the Maynard Jackson frame of mind. He got it done in Atlanta. We don't have those type of people in elected office. We do, but their mouths are being taped over. But the Maynard Jackson frame, we have the Stevens from Django. That's what we have. We got the Stevens from Django.
Yeah. Not only that, 3 years ago, they had the ACC women's basketball tournament at the Civic Center. 3 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. 3 years ago. Right now, the ACC women's basketball tournament was in Savannah at the Civic Center.
The King Arena?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rebecca said that SCAD ended up buying the old school board building down on Bull Street. That's another dumbass thing. Why would you sell a whole 2 blocks of property in downtown Savannah that's worth millions of dollars to SCAD for nothing? Please.
Somebody got a little change at that deal.
Everybody getting paid under the table. We got to watch what everybody's doing.
So did the building get sold, or it was not sold? I thought it wasn't sold.
No, it's not sold.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Not yet.
Well, they probably will sell it though.
Oh, they're gonna sell it. Ain't no question.
But you know what?
All they do is get to these people who are in position to make the sales. And the Civic Center will be gone. The old school board building will be gone. And they're going to buy up every property. And then what that is, gentrification, they're going to move on further out. And it's going to go a little further out. They're going to own West Broad Street in a minute. All Caton Home, Fraser Home, all that will be gone. It'll stop right there to Geechee Road to Anderson Street. And everything back there is going to be the next Charleston.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just thought about this. Does SCAD have
Cam Park, Jackson Park ain't going down like that. Cam Park, Jackson Park ain't going down. We don't play that. Right. We in the 5th district. We don't play that in the 5th. We don't play that.
Man, look here. They want that 5th district bad. I tell you, ain't too many people happy who will stand up and advocate for those homes. Yeah. And it bothers me that those are historically black neighborhoods, and folks don't mind selling out and selling them, and they okay with that. I don't understand it. These are brick by brick homes that these people built when they couldn't go anywhere else in the city, and it's okay now for just SCAD to come take it up.
I haven't said everybody getting paid. Black people in Savannah getting the shaft. Well, not necessarily, Ivan. Everybody getting paid, but the elite black people getting paid too. The poor black people and the middle class black people who get in the shaft. And we shouldn't be getting the shaft because we put people in place because we saw this happening and we advocated and we went out for these people and got them elected in office, and this is what they're giving us. They haven't done anything but give out some damn dumpsters on 36th Street, some McDonald's dinners, and some blankets under the bridge. And we sent you there to do more than that.
Yeah.
And they get glory and more pictures in the magazine.
Yeah, every day. The news on there, every time they doing something insignificant, the news putting them on there, giving out some damn McDonald's lunches.
That's it.
Oh, and there was a shooting on Williamson last night also.
Oh,
Where?
yeah?
Downtown. There was a shooting down on Williamson also. Outside.
Yeah.
You know what? Whew. That's throughout the state. And I don't.
Oh, while we saying this, when the new year came in, there were 4 shootings when the new year came in. And that there were other shootings also that have happened. It's been ongoing gun violence in the city. And guess what? They don't want people to talk about it. They don't want it coming out. So that's why I'm throwing it out there right now on the Watch Dawgs to let y'all know. Check it out. It was another shooting this weekend outside a club, and this is downtown. So and your elected officials don't want that to be discussed, and your appointed officials don't want that to be discussed, and your city administrators don't want that to be discussed. So guess what? Gun violence is an issue here that they don't want to talk about. Like Keisha Gibson Carter's talked about it.
Yeah.
And they try to ignore her on that.
Yeah, because every time I come home or my daughter don't come home and they go on River Street, they come back in the house and say, Daddy, somebody done got shot. Somebody was every single time. There's not one in the past year or over a year and a half that shooting, and people scattered all over the place, period. And they don't want to talk about that. Yeah, okay. They may not want to talk about it, but it's being talked about.
Well, I mean, let me
people getting loud about it.
Let me ask you this, Jamal. Do you think resources are allocated appropriately? I'll give you a great example. In Atlanta, if you happen to be driving or walking down the street and you got a marijuana blunt, they ain't gonna bother you because that's not a serious issue. Mm-hmm. What is a serious issue, since abortion talks about pro-life, why don't we focus resources on that? I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I mean, that it goes to right up to the hypocrisy of this. That you are going to say that you don't want somebody to have an abortion, but then you don't want to do anything to help the people when they are now born and brought into this world. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to even do anything with regard to that. But you want to tell somebody that they cannot go and have an abortion. But I'm saying, but you ain't doing nothing for that child when that child comes into this world. That goes to the hypocrisy. And that goes to show, as I tell you, that's really not about a political football or a political soccer ball, a political tennis ball, a political volleyball, a political basketball. That's all that is. A political baseball.
Yeah, they don't want you to abort the child, but they don't want you to have food stamps to feed the child either.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Medical care or education that will better the environment or economics, that you make sure that you have economic parity here. So then that way, guess what? Now people have options that they know that they can make sure they have a better quality of life. And so now there's something with KJ. KJ, she done put it out there, and I tagged y'all in it, that she discussed how can't even find a 2-bedroom unit here for less than $1,300 now.
What?
Hey, let me tell y'all something.
And she said that she about to go move in with Van.
Hey, let me tell y'all something so crazy. I don't know when the last time y'all been to Atlanta, but let me put this out. I know they're going to get me when they try to find me. If you go 75 North, right? You go 75 North coming in Atlanta. Over here is scattered and beautiful homes and apartments, right? If you come from 75 North to go 75 South, you know what's on 75 South? It's basically going back to the black folk. Homeless tent, line up, 75 South. Homeless tent, 75 South, 75 North, scabbing these big old nice apartments. Come on now. And you want to do your job? That's absolutely true. You go 75 South, you see tents, homeless tent, all lined up down 75 South under the bridges. Come on now. So it's issues all over. They can do us all kind of 75, but you go north, you go to like Jewel said, they're not Atlanta braid no more. They call braid because they building so much. I mean, it's a shame.
They moved the homeless shelter here. I mean, the homeless people from being all downtown and everything. They got them on their own camp under the bridge off of President Street now. They wanted them away from the downtown area. They wanted them away from SCAD and everything, that tourism and everything that was going on down there.
Yeah.
And they're going to do the same thing in Atlanta.
Yeah, they're doing it. Yeah, absolutely.
SCAD comes in and they buy the right people. They got the money to do it with now. So they can buy the right people and get what they want to get done because and they can back the right the wrong people according to us, but they back these politicians that do what they want them to do. You got people giving mouth service to want to tax SCAD. Yeah, we know they're tax exempt, but there is payment in lieu of taxes that they can work out. Yale University does it. A bunch of the big schools do it. SCAD is bigger than Yale. SCAD don't have as much endowment, but SCAD is bigger than most of the. SCAD is one of the biggest colleges in the whole United States, land-wise. Nobody owns more property. No college owns more property than SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. Nobody.
Yeah, and high as hell too.
Oh yeah, they're private.
Yeah.
Yeah, private.
When I was a young boy growing up, the only museum known to me was on Paulson Street.
Tell you what?
Yeah, they used to have a museum on Paulson Street back in the day.
Oh yeah, the size museum. Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, that's about it for us.
All right.
Lively show. I appreciate all the input. I appreciate everything. We're gonna have Lamario Brown on in a couple of weeks. He's a candidate running for ag commissioner. He contacted me this morning. I texted him, and then he told me he'll be on the show in a couple of weeks. Oh, well, wait a minute. My bad. I'm sorry. He has not announced yet. He will be announcing real soon. So if I gave it away too soon, he is about to run. But you don't give us no information here for the Black community, and we don't tell it. Especially if it's good information. We want all candidates running. We want all these positions to be challenged, and whether you win or not, we need to get you the experience in every position, all over the state.
Hey.
Any last words, Bernard?
Last word. Just like all these candidates want us to donate to their campaign, want all y'all campaign donate to ATR Black Media because we the one getting y'all out of there. Y'all start donating to us, and then we'll donate to y'all at the end of the day. Period.
Great one. Dr. Torre.
All right, I'm making this turn. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about this and serious about this. Bernard Brown is lying. Then they ain't tell him that. He's trying to just use that to try to justify his behavior now. And also, he talk about fighting. He still ain't absolved the situation with him fighting Ronald Wilson. He was talking about fighting like Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali. What about Ronald Wilson and Bernard Brown? So I just want to say he need to repent. He need to repent publicly.
And you don't realize, Jamal, me and Ronald already made up when we was at Fort Valley. We already made up.
You ain't know he was at Fort Valley. See?
Okay, Dr. Brian. Any last words, sir?
All right. But Bernard, I'm gonna probably slide through your way if I can get here to Atlanta. So just keep your phone open. But to close out, folks, 2022 is a different year.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it's the year of prosperity for everybody. It's going to be a year of growth. So let's get out there. Let's support these candidates. Let's put people in office that are doing some real change. And let's stick with it.
Yeah.
And stop tailgating.
Yeah. Yep.
And my last words is
That's
No,
important.
oh yeah. There's
Go
a
ahead.
12 o'clock MLK program special by ATR. Ron Tell that. Candidly Keisha. We
He's
might have
saying that
America
now,
After Dark.
Bernard,
Huh?
because you're not gonna be there. He's gonna announce it now because he know you ain't gonna be there. He didn't want you to be there. So go ahead, Jamal. 12 o'clock, MLK
Uh,
Internet.
yes, and we're gonna be there. And so that we weren't sure about America After Dark because we thought because that stuff they have that Ike corner right now, and we too afraid about that.
Ike's Toner was off the chain. Ike's Toner talked about ugly babies the week before.
I
Tell me, stop calling these ugly babies cute. Tell me, you know damn well the baby ain't cute. The baby look like he got a job and 3 kids.
Hey,
I just fell out laughing.
hey, let me tell you. I got one bit. Let me tell you what happened. So we was at the restaurant. On Thursday, and me and him went at it. And his girlfriend got mad with me because he was gonna go Ike corner with Tommy Island. And I said, you know what? Do what the hell you want to do. It's your corner.
Yeah, so don't y'all forget 6 o'clock today. We got Pastor Leonard Smalls with Tell It Like It Is. You can watch all our shows on reruns. Today we got 2 o'clock. Huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
2 o'clock we got Financial Sins coming up in a few minutes, 15 minutes. At 3 o'clock we got Ink the Ink. It's a good show when felons cry. It was a show from last night. 8 o'clock tonight we got 6 o'clock tonight we got Pastor Smalls with go on Unity Political Action Committee page and watch Pastor Smalls at 6 to 7 with his show Tell It Like It Is. 8 o'clock we got on this back on our network. It Is What It Is with Jay Jones. You don't want to miss that from last night. And 5 p.m. You got 2 therapists and a mic. It's a new show dealing with mental health issues that we have on this platform now with 2 doctors out of Atlanta. So we're putting the information out there. You'll be able to watch America After Dark at 10 o'clock tonight. 10 o'clock tonight, you can watch America After Dark, the show from last night. And taking the journey together, you'll be able to watch that tomorrow, and you'll be able to watch this show also tomorrow, rerun of this show tomorrow. So y'all make sure y'all look at the schedule when you get the notifications. Tune in whenever you can, even if you just put your phone on it once you get the notification. We appreciate your support. Y'all share. Tell that the baby brother show of this network. His show already repeated yesterday. Your show repeated yesterday.
He the baby brother because he got baby hair. Temptation.
Y'all stand by. We got some great shows coming up. We got Groover Thornton that used to be with Chester Dunham. Groover has a show coming up on Saturdays next month,
and that's gonna be scary. Grover, y'all know, Jesus, y'all know Grover. Oh Lord,
Grover is going to be on this platform.
Lord,
I think it's I don't forgot what time it is. 7. It's going to be on a Saturday, I believe, but I will get that information out when these get ready. But he'll be on this platform starting, I think, in February or early February with a straight talk with Groover Thornton. So
Robert's Ryan brother, Grover Thornton. Robert's Ryan brother.
Cool. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's gonna be neat. That's different. I like it.
We got a real estate show coming up. Y'all hear me talking about it, but I got the people in place now to really do the intros and stuff, and I got the people that's committed to do these shows. We got our sports show with all of us right here that you see. We're going to be filling in. We're going to have about 4 or 5 other guys, so you'll be seeing 5 or 6 of us at a time all the time. We're going to talk sports and nothing but sports on that sports show, our sports today. So it's a number of shows. We'll give you a rundown. Avancoin, I know you've been asking me for the list. I'm going to send you the list today if I get a chance. I know I haven't posted it because it's some of the shows are tentative, but they're all going to come on. but the dates are tentative. So anyway, we're at our last minute. We've done been on an hour and 45 minutes.
That's what we don't get no replay.
15 minutes more than what we wanted to do. So because this was a special edition where we were talking about elections, we're gonna have to do this again because we got a lot of elections positions that we did not talk about. Labor Secretary with our friend Lester Jackson. We gotta get him up here. So our friend.
Come on, we need to send him out there, but that's another conversation for another.
He's gonna have to deputize some people here in the city to go out and do his talking for him. Lester, you need to get on the ball. The Ag Commissioner, Secretary of Education, and the seats running against Buddy Carter, U.S. Senate, all the state house seats, the local judges, school board. We got it all coming up. So y'all get ready to watch the Watch Dawgs, watch the Rabble, watch Tell It Like It Is, watch Run Tell That. I don't know whether you're going to be able to watch and see no politics anymore on America at the Dog, but tune in for it. Anyway, we got a few last comments before we go. And Dr. Bryant, both at the wheel. There's a drag race in the future. Talking about you and Jamal at the wheel.
I'm just trying to be all these 4 trucks out here. That's it.
You're right. Rebecca Kessler should be called out publicly for what he's doing. Enough of publicity.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
You got some idiot.
I'm kind of 50-50.
I'll call them that. Y'all don't have to. Anyway, we'll see y'all tonight, 6:00. Pat Small Show. I'm sure he is going to be live and entertaining also. All right, and we'll see y'all Monday. Y'all tune in. What time, Jamal? 12 to 2, right?
12 o'clock. That's right. 12 o'clock.
To around 2 for Keisha Gibson Carter's special show live. MLK is still on for us. We're going to be live at MLK and Grenette, 12 o'clock on the corner. MLK and Grenette, 12 o'clock. Y'all stay tuned for that. We'll be there.
And Run Tell That. See how again you forget. You throw Keisha up there, but you forget about us. Run Tell That. The little brother, yeah. Little brother who ain't got no Indian baby hair, got African hair.
The photon. The photon.
Hey, it's gonna be a collaboration of Run Tell That and Candidly Keisha, so it can air on their shows on Monday night and for Tuesday. All right. And for Wednesday rather. All right. Okay, we'll see y'all.
But we'll let the Rabble be a part of it too, because you used to be there too, Julius. So you used to be there too. I'm just saying. So and then I guess it can be connected to the Watch Dawgs also, because we do that. But I don't know what they're gonna be doing. I'm saying I don't know what they're gonna be doing. I'm just saying I'm not to the audience. I don't know. I'm separate from all of them.
Yeah, Robert.
So that's a formal invite.
Atlanta to get snowed in for some reason.
Robert in Atlanta. Okay.
He headed to the snow. What the hell you running to the snow?
Man, listen here.
So, you say 12 to 2 Monday? 12 to 2 Monday?
12 to 2. Y'all tune in and share. We'll be live on MLK and Grenette on the corner. Okay?
All right. MLK, okay. All right.
It's our MLK event. Jamal gonna give y'all a bunch of history. All right. See y'all later.
All right. Stay on. Log on.